saw the place where the possible met the impossible and moved toward it. They walked for many an hour and many a day, until, finally, they crossed the edge of paradox. Greetings, and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I am Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice-of-life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. Let us go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody, and find out once again who they are and who they're playing, and we shall start with Djinnaya. Hello!
Hello, my name is Djinnaya. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Shah Gamelon, who is an established gallant of the Order of Makers who cages adversaries. Shah also uses she, her pronouns.
Excellent. And now over to Wilde. Hello.
Hello, I'm Wilde, a Wilde engineer on Twitch and Twitter. I use he, they pronouns. And I am playing Shantano. They use they, them pronouns, and they are an itinerant empath of the Order of Apostate who splintered into fragments.
Excellent. I am going to kick up my audio just a hair, so hopefully that will help with some things, but if the music or anything becomes too loud, folks who are watching currently, please let me know. Those of you who are playing, if the music is too loud, you can always turn the thing down if you need to. My audio, but that should not affect you. Let's try this number. Okay. We'll see what happens. Now let us head over to Arras. Hello.
Hello, I'm Arras, or Animus Panthera, and today I am playing Oroshka Ruzik, who is an aromatic empath apostate who converses with everything. My pronouns are she, they, and her pronouns are she, her.
Excellent. Good. And now we shall head over to Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Mac the Husk, uses they, them pronouns. They are an established ardent of the Order of the Goetica who provides a vessel for spirits.
Cool. And in a moment, I am going to also fiddle with another audio setting. I just realized I probably need to because there's a thing happening. But anyway, but I'll do that in a moment. First, I must read this information. Like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and we'll do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. And as a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain body horror, surreal imagery, spiders, snakes, and references to memory loss, death, and existential crises, which one day I will learn how to say. Existential crises. And at any time, you can type !ISCW, and it will show you that. Over there in the chat. And it's on rotation, so it should come up regularly. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if you need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. Now, he says, staring briefly at a thing. Oh yeah. No, we've got the, no, I think it's probably good. Okay, I'm just going to leave that, there, and I will tinker with it later. He says, staring into, there's some nebulous controls over there, audio controls, and I feel as though Zoom has updated some things, and as we've just switched over how we're doing audio, so, let us know if anything weird happens. But in the meantime, where are we? I don't know where we are. Unfortunately, Danielle could not be with us tonight due to real life. But Wilde is back, so we're going to do. There's going to be a bit of a do-si-do with the gray. As I recall, as things that happened last time, they were in the town of Yestervale, trying to investigate some sort of nebulous thing that seems to be going on, perhaps with people's memories. And the person who invited them, Goodman Jonas, did not recognize them. Or actually did recognize them, what am I saying? Recognized them, and remembered inviting them, but didn't remember why. And something that Vor tried to do was peek into his mind to try to learn more, at which point some flux happened, and she ended up echoing into his mind a bit, and he realized it was happening, so then he got very defensive, but then she did a little bit more of used a secret to basically pull out an idea. To make things better again. I'm sure there won't be any lasting damage from that. But he went back down from being alarmed to being suspicious. And more or less at that point, there was another resident of the town came over to investigate. This would be probably good woman Faraday, who came over to just make sure everything was all right. Introduced herself to the party. She is a part owner of the Ice House, and greeted them all, welcomed them, and they asked her about someone who might be knowledgeable about the history of the area. So she escorted them to the house of good person Bristol, who is basically the town historian. Actually does a lot of teaching, and wrangles, sort of is in charge of education for a lot of the older children. So they went, and good person Bristol welcomed them into their house, which had a lot of books. They noticed as the good person Bristol was getting tea, the folks there present noticed that among the books were some of the travel guides that had been written by their friend, their half jellyfish friend Araya. There on a shelf, among them was a book that I believe is called Entities of the Wildlands, if I remember correctly. Yes, the Entities of the Wastelands is the name of that one, actually. And Entities of the Wildlands is a completely different book. So Shah grabbed Entities of the Wastelands and was sort of looking through it and finding some interesting stuff about the local area, local fauna. But they had a chat with good person Bristol, trying to sort of come casually around to figuring out more about what the deal is with this person Balak they keep hearing about, whom everyone seems to be saying, the ice goes to Balak. But very few people can describe them. Bristol apparently has seen Balak before from a distance. Described him, said that Balak is probably a Vizsla. And didn't know what Balak's schedule was, said they'd probably need, of coming and getting the ice, they'd probably need to talk to the mayor about that, because the mayor's in charge of that. There were a few other bits of trivia that dropped over the course of the thing, as he was talking about local history. Talked about a delightful series of murders about a century ago that might have been committed by members of the Duchess's family. But they never figured out who it was, and then they got okay with the Duchess's family like 50 years later, and they had a business in town that apparently did serve brunch, and also lots of different types of vegetables and fungi. There was a point where Vor asked, because they asked about if something called the Rattler, if Bristol was at all familiar with that, and Bristol said that they think they had heard that somewhere, but they weren't sure where. They'd have to try to figure it out, sort of look it up. And Vor offered to look into Bristol's mind about it, or cast a spell that would cause some assistance with respect to that in remembering things, give Bristol something to do that. And Bristol was very reticent to do that and seemed to be having trouble concentrating when that was brought up. Shah took this opportunity to use her viewfinder device to get a look over at the fireplace, because the fireplace, there's no fire in it, but that's where good person Bristol was looking when this mild exhaustion, it would seem, came across them. This bit of... And Shah saw something, the tail of something dark crawling up into the chimney. And at that same moment, through some form of divine providence, given that they pulled very good cards last time, little breeze came in through the open window and flipped the pages of the open book in her lap to an entry labeled "The Insidious." Whereupon, on the opposite page, is a sort of a dark, vague image of something that looks kind of like a shadowy, worm-like thing, maybe? And that is essentially where we left off. And I think there's going to come a point where folks, as they're distracted with various things, if anyone looks over to the chair where Vor is sitting, they're going to see Shantano sitting there now, who has just emerged from the gray. And Vor apparently has just retreated into the gray. And so you're materializing inside this, Shantano, you're materializing inside this house. It's a nice house. It looks like fairly upscale. You think you're still in Yestervale, because it's still a lot of fairly simple furniture, but lots of books in many shelves. And you're all sort of sitting on a comfortable couch or a couple of chairs, and in a comfortable chair across from everyone is this person who is wears a vest and 2 pairs of eyeglasses, and they look like they're a little sort of middle-aged, basically. And so that is where we left off.
I imagine everybody has a beverage except for you, Chanteneau, because Vors chose the everlasting champagne glass, which probably disappeared along with her.
That went with her, yes. That can no longer be separated from her soul.
Yes, I just look around and you're like, wait, what's going on? Did everybody recognize me as Baylock yet? Or
the guy with the glasses just sort of the person with the glasses just sort of looks over like, oh, that's curious. Hey, weren't you someone else a moment ago?
I mean,
I prefer to think of us as a collective.
as far as I know, I've always been me, but I guess it's possible.
Must have been the timing. Is this is? Oh wait, no, this is a Vizsla thing. I think I've seen this happen before. Sometimes Vizsla will fade in and out, right? I've heard about that.
You may be right. It's possible that I am a new me that I've never been before. I haven't really thought about that.
Huh. I guess if you want to get philosophical about it, I suppose. Good person, Bristol. Welcome to my home. Just talking to, we're having a little chat about various things about the town's history.
Hi, I'm Chanteneau. Some people also call me Baylock.
Well, you. Excuse me?
I lean over and whisper, he's actually seen the real Baylock.
Right. Yes, I'm Chanteneau, also known as Baylock.
Now it's interesting that you share a name with our big client.
It's actually a very common name in Saturnine.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Like Smith.
Ah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Goodman Bristol, would you mind if I borrowed this book? Just while I'm in town. I promise I would bring it back.
Oh, yes, it's time for me to draw another card. I must draw a new card now, as we are in a new time, a new scene. Well, that's looking positive. Let me go ahead and get us over here. Ooh. The streak continues. All right. Let me find the thing. Okay. So cards. That's the one I need. Okay. We have drawn the Golden Ship. The Golden Ship. Card number 48. And so there are many ships, but only one golden ship. This legendary vessel supposedly carries only the greatest heroes, the most influential celebrities, the highest nobles, and the most powerful Vizsla to ports of call most people cannot even imagine. Even seeing the ship is a great honor. It represents wealth and prestige. In divination, a highly positive card, the golden ship suggests that one will earn wealth, fame, or respect, or all three. It presages a successful endeavor, but usually only if that endeavor is grand in scope. The golden ship does not waste its time on petty actions or minor deeds. Alternatively, this card might suggest the intervention, again, probably in a positive way, of someone wealthy, well-respected, or influential. This is also the gold. This is gold is up, silver is down, as far as the suns go. Let me grab the gold sun here. And that is so that's kind of what we're being influenced right now. So the way that Bristol reacts to this, I think, is let me see. Yeah. Bristol will say, "Huh? Oh, it's a field of interest to you."
Oh, yes. I just, I like to study about places while I'm there. It just enriches the experience. Don't you agree?
Huh. Oh, yes, absolutely. This is not thinking of not thinking of settling down to these parts or making some sort of grand voyage, are you?
Settling. Oh, what? It seems like maybe not a high Vizsla populated area, but it's wonderful to adventure, travel, see things, learn new things.
That it is. Got about a little bit myself when I was younger sometimes, and it's always nice to be able to do that. Oh, certainly, yes, absolutely. Feel free. Just do bring it back before you leave.
Of course.
Is there anything else I can help you with? I can point you to the Red Thistle or to the Mist Maiden if you want to go to either of those, or the Mayor's house. Anything else really.
What should we do next, friends?
I think perhaps the Red Thistle would be a good place to stop. Perhaps we can meet some more of the locals. And get brunch. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. That's our high priority right now. It's been almost it's been almost 24 hours since we've last had brunch.
This is an excellent point.
Yes, I've yet to try this area's food or fare yet.
Yeah. So they will point you to the Red Thistle. Let me go ahead and look at this. Look at this thing. Okay, we are almost at the part that I can just show you this map, which I will do momentarily.
Ask him for a map. Do you happen to have a map of the town that you could just? Is there a tourist map?
We don't. I don't know if we've quite gotten to that point yet, but I do have. I do have a map I can show you, which he does, which I cannot simultaneously do just yet, but I will momentarily. And you'll basically see that the town. It's a little bit sprawly. It does not have much in the way of like the ordered roads exactly. It's more sort of spider webby in the way that it is set up. And the red thistle is basically east-northeast of here. You just go down. You go down one block from this square outside to the east. You're actually going to pass the mayor's office. You turn left and then you take a right, and it is 2 blocks down on the left.
Does anybody on our jaunt to the... well, I suppose that there's nothing else to be done here. We shall get out of your way, Goodman, and hope that we meet again.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Do come again. And they'll get up and they'll basically start clearing away the tea things and just sort of get the door for you.
Did their disorientation pretty much stop after Vor disappeared? Like, do they still seem to have kind of a disorientation hangover, or?
They seem okay now.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a thing where maybe they look a little more tired than they did before, just a tiny bit. It's clear they're not talking about everything that they could perhaps have talked about with respect to that, but they're still maintaining they're still maintaining the host identity, as it were.
Okay.
The identity of a host, that you have come into their house and they are offering hospitality.
So I guess we just think him and head out and make 2 rights and a left, or whatever it was, to the northeast.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get there.
Are there any townsfolk who are watching us as we make our way over to the Red Thistle?
It's happening a little bit now. It was not happening before. I mean, occasionally, you would get, as you were on your way over here, you got a few glances because you look different you dress differently from everyone else here. And some of you look quite different from the way people look here, and so there's a little bit, sometimes a little curiosity, but they're familiar with Vizsla, they understand, so it was more like oh yeah. Now you do occasionally, not like constantly, but you will get people sort of watching you a little bit more. Instead of just going, when they notice you, instead of going back to what they were doing. And it's not like, they're not staring at you paranoically or anything like that. It's more just sort of like, oh yeah.
All right, everyone, act unnaturally.
Done.
I think we're good.
More than usual, because I can do that if you would like.
I think you're fine as you are.
Well, just in case.
It's very affirming.
I think I'm going to cast...
You're sufficiently weird.
I'm going to cast Growth on myself.
Cast what?
Growth?
Yeah, it's one of my Splinters into Fragments abilities. I get relatively large, I believe.
Wait, I must see what Oh yes, let's see. I shall make with the opening of the key here so that I can revel in the glory of this. This is from Splinters into Fragments. Growth. Oh, that's good.
I always find it fascinating when Jim approves of a very unorthodox move in the RPG.
And it's gold magic, also, which means something. Actually, I mean, you're not having to roll for it, so it doesn't, because this is a thing you're just doing to yourself. But I'm sure it's. I'm sure the effect is like you could get to probably. You could probably go a little bit taller even than it says here in the book if you so desire.
How tall are you?
Because we're under the
again.
You can get to 12 feet tall.
Uh-huh.
Under the way that this works typically. If you would like to be, somewhere, 13, 14 feet taller. Somewhere 12 to 15. If you want to be anywhere 12 to 15 feet tall, you may.
13 sounds like a good even number.
Okay, excellent. Yes, 13's a good lucky number. So, what does this look like when this happens?
Oh, it sounds like just like thousands of glasses shattering on the ground as I am restructuring myself, and the parts of me are reassembling and slowly growing, and it's just like cracked bits of pieces of me, like slowly shifting upwards, until I'm just looking like a giant version of myself.
I think Shaw just turns and looks up at you and goes, well, hopefully they have a table outside.
Well, I mean, I can go even smaller if you need.
People are just sort of like, they're a little taken aback.
You be what size you feel you need to be, Sean. No.
Yeah, well, maybe if people didn't want to recognize me as Baylock, they'll recognize me as the giant walking through their town.
I do think you will get attention if that's what you were looking for.
So yeah, people are now just sort of now everyone is staring. And again, they're not alarmed too much. They were a little bit when it happened, but then they saw you came back together and they realized you're Vizsla, so it's like it's okay. But then they're like, peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots.
Rhubarb, 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 rhubarb.
We should keep going. Don't want to cause too much of a distraction to the people here. Let's not draw attention to ourselves now.
I'm sure by moving very briskly through their town will not draw any more attention than we already have.
So, that was weird. Not Sean, no. That was normal. But the historian, that was weird, right? When Vor offered to help him remember and he got so skittish.
I would think so, yes, but I think we just need to remember that not everybody thinks about magic in the same way that we Vizsla.
I'm not so sure it was an absolute fear of magic. He kept looking at the empty fireplace, and so I took a sketch of it. Look, and I'll pull out the viewfinder and pull up the image so that you can, and hand it to you. So when you look in, you'll see the fireplace and the sort of smoky tail.
That's bizarre. So, does this smoky tail, does it look like it's connected to something?
Yeah, probably. Something that was up in the fireplace.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Like, would it look something like a root that was being taken or inserted into the hole through the fireplace?
It looks actually it's hard to say because it's sort of shadowed, but the more you look at it, and this image is enhanced more as you're kind of looking at. I need to just so that I can remember something here. Does this thing project an image, or do you just look into the viewfinder?
I could do either. I can project an image for people to see, but given that we're walking down the street with a giant, I figured it would be easier to just hand over to Mac let's get the viewfinder to look.
Very fair. Very fair. Yeah. So but it's because this is it enhances the image for you. What you're seeing is it looks like the bottom third of like a large centipede.
Ew.
Yeah.
I need to ask now, briefly, quick question. I just said the word centipede. Do we need to do any safety on that, or do we need to turn it into something else?
I think we're okay. I think we can just leave it at centipede, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't love centipedes, but I have a feeling I'm not supposed to love this thing, so that's okay. If I am at some point going to need to take this thing to like the snuggle pile, then we're going to have to do some safety.
Wait, which one is it that's venomous? Is it centipedes or millipedes?
Centipedes.
Okay, and this, I guess they look the same from the bottom third.
I guess that's true.
Okay. Are there, as we're walking, do we see any other chimneys?
Yeah, I mean there are a number of chimneys in the town. A lot of I would venture to say most houses have them, either a chimney or even the ones further on the outskirts. You remember the smaller houses? I mean, most of them are one-floor houses, right? But most of them have a way to. Most of them are going to have some kind of chimney. So they're going to have some kind of flue because that's how you stay warm in the winter.
Okay. Are there... if I'm still using the viewfinder, could I use it to look up and scan over the chimneys? See if there's anything?
It has the image called up, so you'd have to like actually use it as an object of power, which is something that only I can do because it's bonded to me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, ask you to do it.
Mac will be like, this, he'll pull down the viewfinder, then he'll look up again, and then like, huh.
Did you want me to look for something? It'll only show you the image.
Oh, yeah. Could you? And obviously, Mac is just being Mac when it comes to really technical magic and such. So, you know, he's not really playing dumb. He really is dumb in these regards.
I will just note that I will just note that as you have rounded the corner, you are within sight of the, or as you've just come around the corner, you're within sight of the red thistle. So, but proceed.
I will. Well, what are you looking for? The chimneys here?
I was just looking at the chimneys here to see if they may have something inserted in them that might not be visible to the untrained eyes.
I slide the switch down the side and it makes this like click, 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 shunk noise. And then I look up through it at the tops of the chimneys to see if there's anything.
Yeah, you're not. I don't think you're going to see anything on the tops of the chimneys. As you're just sort of looking, you do note that none of them are currently operating, and you know that makes sense given the time of year. But yeah, there's no smoke coming up from most of them. The only chimney that you see any smoke coming up from is the red thistle. And that probably is because they cook things.
When you say the time of year, what time of year is it?
It is, I think it's like summer.
Was it summer when we left Saturnine?
I can't remember. When was it when we were in Saturnine?
I don't know.
A whole train ride ago.
Yeah,
I guess I just wanted to know. That's the second time that you've mentioned the time of year, and so I wanted to know that the time of year was not a surprising item.
I think it was early summer.
Okay.
In the campaign itself as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, it is not unusual for it to be the time of year that it is currently. I shall make that statement at the very least.
So, do we need to try and get into somebody else's house so we can see if they also have a weird, creepy thing in their fireplace?
I don't think we can just walk into.
Well, I meant like we should try and get an invitation to somebody's house.
I think that would be very odd at this point, and perhaps we might see something in the Red Thistle's chimney.
Yes.
True, I guess. Anybody live there?
Bacon.
Shantano's gonna bend down and like, do you mind if I take a look at the image you have?
I mean, it's gonna be hard because it won't reach both your eyes. But you can look at it through just one.
See if that works.
I flip back to the image and hand it over. You're like, twink.
Yeah. Shantano has to crouch really, really low to pick it up, though.
Living out my dreams.
This is so good.
Good for you, Shantano.
Yeah, you're looking.
I have a question for my spell, Harulation. Is that just something random, or is that focused on a specific thing?
Let me check this thing. Now, quick question: the source of the spell, is it a card, or is it the book, or is it somewhere? Where is the spell from?
It's in the spell deck.
Spell deck. Gotcha.
This is the one that Shantano and I both have that we have to be together for either of us to be able to do it.
Let me see here.
Oh, that's right.
So this is going to be in the spell deck. Let me go ahead and grab this so that I might gaze upon it beatifically. Spell deck. And the name of the spell one more time.
Harulation. So that's an H-A-R.
Harulation. Okay. Let's see. Peer through the veils surrounding me to snatch a glimpse. And your question regarding this again was what?
Is what I see, is it focus on an object, or is it just random visions?
Okay, I learned the basic details of one event that will occur within the next few days. Peer through the veil surrounding me to snatch a glimpse of the future. The basic details of one event that will occur within the next few days. If I and those I know do not intervene in any way. I do not get to determine which event I learn of, but I will know at least one person involved with or affected by it. My intervention may or may not change the event. Okay, so actually, no, you don't have to focus on an object for this. Although, I guess if you want to try and tie it into, as you're looking at this thing, I see what you're saying.
I was going to see if I was going to try and tie it into this fireplace or whatever it is we're attempting to glean from this image of the fireplace.
Yeah. All right, let me take a look here. And there's more information under divinations and information gathering magic. Let me see here. We must open the way. We must open the way and go to page 17. Let's see. Okay. Other times it's important to get you some effects. You must determine a level for the answer and a spell. Okay, so actually it does need to. You are going to need to make a roll for this. So I'm going to take this as a question related specifically to the thing that you are looking at. I assume, are you looking at the image of the image of the centipede, or are you looking at the chimneys?
I guess the centipede.
Okay. All right.
What do I?
So I think that and let me check briefly what it is that you are attempting to gain information on. Yes. All right. If you do nothing. This is going to be level 6, I think, to try to see this.
I have. Does magical lore help?
What's the level of the spell? Level 3. So that's
level
already
3.
gonna knock it down to 3.
Yeah. Does magical lore help?
Magical lore. Actually, I don't think it's going to come into play here for this one.
How about searching?
Searching. I could see an argument for using searching.
Understanding people's motives.
Understanding people's motives. Ooh. Yeah, we can knock that down one more with that, so that'll knock it down to 1. So
that's possible and maybe survival.
I'm sorry, what were the others?
Survival.
Oh, survival's also going to come into play in this, actually. So yeah, you could just do it at this point. So that'll take care of it. And yeah, so you can spend. You're going to need to spend 3 sorcery, 3 out of your sorcery pool. And you can also boost it if you want. But I mean you've got it, so I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have to necessarily boost it at this point. So the vision is being cast. I am going to draw a card to help me in telling the story of this vision. What does this look like as you are casting this?
I guess if you're looking at Shantano, it's like you can see the glass shards within them kind of moving, oscillating a bit, almost reflecting light in different patterns. Depending on where you're looking at it from, it almost creates kaleidoscope-like image inside of him.
Okay. So, just so you're aware, I'm going to go ahead and go through this. The card that I have drawn here, which for some reason my thing hasn't come. There it is. It is the Hunter. And the interesting thing about it is that it is the adept of notions, which means I actually am going to need to draw another card in a moment. Because that apparently is the effect of the adept that I have not been using up until this point because I hadn't been looking. The hunter is a lonely soul, pursuing prey with dogged tenacity. Their single-minded dedication is why they are successful in tracking, confronting, and killing their prey. The hunter knows better than anyone that it is kill or be killed. In the harsh world we live in the city, we pretend civilization has lifted us above such things, but the hunter travels into the wilderness where no such delusions exist. But that's not to say that there aren't hunters in cities. On the contrary, there are hunters who prey upon people. Sometimes these hunters seek murder, but some hunt with other goals, just as dark. The hunter is the adept of notions. Her skills in the wilds and her knowledge of her prey and the best way to bring down make her the match for any Vizsla. In divination, this is the perfect card for one pursuing a goal. The hunter suggests that vigilance and persistence will win the day. However, if one isn't actively seeking something, this card turn can portend conflict and even death. And I believe for the case of this, let me just check something regarding the Sooth deck here. Cards affecting... It just says play another card on the next sun. Alright, so I get to draw another card. So that is going to be coupled with another card draw here that we have happening. And we've not changed sun colors yet, but we might in a second. Ah, interesting. Okay. So, one moment. Once again, we have drawn the lucky coin. And so that was, we drew that recently. So I don't need to necessarily go over everything with it, but just so that I might gaze upon it, its meanings are good fortune, wealth, freedom, unexpected luck, unstructured. So something good is coming. Which is weird coupling that together, but that is under the silver sun. So let me go ahead and let me go and adjust the sun here, as that's kicked us under into the silver. There we are. So there are many, of course, there are many things that we have going on that we could attach it to. So if you do nothing here, how do your visions when you cast this normally come to you? Is it just you just see a thing, or is there a specific? Is it like, do you see it in a pool of water, or is there like a? Or what did the CGI department do today?
Okay. For Chantineau, again, it's very much broken glass related. It'd be like looking into a fragmented mirror, but they're all broken in a way where they're all looking at different things in the room. But it's all happening at once, so you have to focus on one specific thing, because there's so many things happening at once.
So perceptually to Chantineau, sort of reality sort of cracks into different mirrored pieces in front of Chantineau. Chantineau being the only person who sees this. This is just, how the visions happen. So you sort of focus on the one. And what you see is that back at the is that you see people here who have who turn further inward, walking around zombie-like. They're all distraught. The population is starting to dwindle as there are more people collapsing in the mines. And you see again, if you do nothing, that the town seems to... It turns very inward, grows more decrepit, and it loses... it starts falling into poverty. Until eventually the mines themselves get to the point that once the mines are tapped out, you see people sort of maybe a skeleton crew left to go in and grab the new ice when it regrows about every month. But that's about it. It's looks like very dark times for this town ahead if you do nothing. Until eventually they just can't support themselves and or what they're doing. And they don't seem to want to do anything. Those who aren't working the mines get very listless, or not even listless. What's the word? It's the opposite of listless, isn't it? Wait, listless.
Restless?
Yeah, restless. Okay, not restless. It is listless. I need to look up words again. They get, they basically, I feel like they get to the point that people are going to start collapsing in the street and just, you ever just slow down and just decide that it's not worth the effort to, move your leg muscles to continue walking, or to move the lungs and to pull the air in and push the carbon dioxide out. Yes, death by ennui. That's a very good. That's very good. Yes, that's a very, very good phrase for it. And that's kind of what you see happening.
So I guess when...
And I should point out, yes, because... And let me... I need to be more specific here, because we have cards that have been drawn here. As you kind of are able to zoom in on individual people, you see these shadowed creatures. These shadowy creatures that are bug-like, basically. These big bug-like. Wandering out at night. And just kind of overrunning the town. Eventually they're just sort of walking amongst the people, and the people that are there, that are even, awake, don't care. And they seem to be not so much hunting the people. Perhaps they do that a little bit at first, but more sort of just kind of keep them around as a type of cattle, really. Almost doing something for them. You're not exactly sure what the relationship is, what it is that they're doing with these people, but sort of hurting them. And that is what you see.
So, I guess when Shantana looks away, they're gonna be like, wow, this is quite disturbing. If we're gonna get brunch, we should probably get it now.
I'll stand up on my tiptoes and reach up and grab the thing back as you reach down and say, what was in the picture that was disturbing? Do you know something about it?
I guess it could be a glimpse of a future around here. Just, the mine's running dry. Some sort of insect running over the town and turning the people into veritable cattle.
So there's more than one of this thing. Do you all think that these could be the children that we're looking for?
That's a good question.
It's possible.
I think it will be more or less at this point that someone from the who is sitting outside at the Red Thistle has noticed you standing there, and he stands up and approaches you, and you recognize him. He's was just sort of sitting at one of the tables outside, hanging out, and you see he stands forward and waves, and it is Abel Wellison, whom you met on the train. You are muted.
Sorry, I don't remember this character.
It happened very briefly. So after you left Carmenth, the town where you went to the Enigma restaurant, there were only 2 other passengers left on the train with you. After you hit the final stop before Yestervale. It was the Duchess and this person, Abel, who spoke briefly with Shah, I believe. And what he told you folks was that he had never actually been to Yestervale. He is still, of the people of Yestervale, but he was coming to Yestervale for the first time to visit his sister, his sister Emma. So you'd spoken briefly about the possibility of doing tea or something. Once he'd gotten settled in. And that was basically it. You didn't talk to him for very long. But he is he's sort of nondescript, dresses kind of similarly to the folks in this town. And maybe with a tiny splash of more color, but not much more. Because he lives in Saturnine, and he only had one suitcase with him basically when he was going. So he's, it's just a visit. He's not coming here to stay or anything like that. And he's just sort of looking around and sort of gesturing to you, if you see if you're coming this way, and. But he will not approach out of respect for whatever it is you're doing.
Oh, maybe we should join him and see what he's found in town. He's more familiar with it, so he'll know what's different.
Yeah, sure. Always helps.
Shantano, are you gonna stay big and just make your way through the tables?
No. I actually want to be able to go inside.
Yeah, I mean there are tables outside if you would like to remain 13 feet tall. It is totally possible.
I will assemble 3 or 4 chairs for you to sit in.
I think with each step, as I step closer, it looks like, broken glass kind of just when it falls to the ground, it's like that.
Oh yeah.
And I
Like-
slowly return to my original size as I get to the table.
Cool.
Oh, red.
He sees you. Wow, that's something. That's something. Good to see you folks again. I don't know if we all talked on the train. My name's Abel. And he says to the folks that may not have talked to him on the train, which is pretty much everyone but Shaw.
It's good to see you again, Mr. Wellison. Can we join you?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I actually kind of wanted to talk to you about something. Why does everyone's now sound like from this town now sound like in this town now sound like they're from New England? I don't understand. Okay, no, he's like, no, I don't understand. And he's not even from here. He shouldn't sound that way. No, I wanted to talk to you about something. Absolutely. And he sort of gestures to his table. There's no one at his table, so there's plenty of room.
Are there menus outside that we can
There
grab? On the way
are
to the
menus
table?
that you can browse.
I'm excited because this is the first time we're going to do this. What's on the menu, Jim?
Oh dear. Wait, let me look. Okay. So they have roast beef. They have salads. They have pies. It does mostly look a little bit plain. They do have something that they call Wonder Ham, which I'm hoping isn't actually a brand named somewhere, but
I'm familiar with Wonder Bread.
yes.
Wonder Ham.
Yeah. There is a thing called on the menu called Wonder Ham, and then also Wonder Bacon and Pork Chops of Wonder.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Mm.
If I look at the dessert menu, do
And-
they have shaved ice?
They do also have they have drinks here, by the way. This is also a bar.
Oh.
But they do not have shaved ice on the dessert menu, although, I mean, they couldn't they?
It'd be very suspicious if they didn't have the town's #1.
Yeah,
export.
they should have
Also
they should have
food.
something. They have things with ice, mostly iced
The
drinks.
good ice.
Well, here's the thing. Also, something that I should probably there are some corrections I actually need to make real quick. The mines do also have regular ice in them. Actually, the majority of what is in the mines is regular ice. The weird thing about it is that it grows back every month. So they're kind of they're ice caverns down there. So I mean, there's a lot of ice down there, and they mine the redivivus ice from among the regular ice. But they also the thing that I needed to mention briefly is because there is regular ice down there, as I'm suddenly realizing, that is also another reason why they had to increase production during the drought. Because
They were
ice
gonna
magically
ice
grows
out.
there. So, and I realized I did not make that clear last time. I tied it to the economy, and I was like, wait, it's ice. If you bring it out, it turns to water.
I was sort of wondering that, but I had
Yeah.
also sort of assumed that all of the ice was magical ice. So I was like, well, why would they use magical ice to
Yeah.
water their fields? That seems
Same.
Yeah. So yeah, that my brain had a disconnect there, and then I reread stuff and I was like, wait, no, there's also regular ice. So yes, that's kind of the deal. So yes, they have things with shaved ice, and most of the it looks as though most of the cool ice-related dessert dishes are on the dinner menu rather than the lunch menu.
I think you mean brunch menu.
I mean, I
was
can
gonna
only
say,
tell you
the-
what's there. How you choose to interpret it is entirely up to you.
I have a, I'm gonna spend a bene of sortilege right now just to make the where it says lunch on all of our menus say brunch. That seems low test. If you need me to spend 2 sortilege, I have expansive endeavor and we'll do that. But I just want to wave my hand over the menus.
I feel like we need to take this a little bit further. I think that spending this sortilege also needs to basically go through all the the breakfast and lunch items, and then combine the very best elements of both meals into a more cohesive brunch menu.
I was gonna say too, I really hope that these are the kind of menus that like you give back and not like disposable paper ones, so that like later somebody who works at this place will be looking at the menus and be like, why does it all say brunch now?
I think that's the most disruptive thing that we can do in this count right now.
No, there you go. No, that's
so we're doing it right. So
We are a team with standards.
Not just
There
that.
will be brunch.
We're now not just avid brunch enthusiasts. We're avid brunch prophets. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, Jim. That's where we're going with the story.
I mean, it's there is a time when sometimes the philosophy turns towards dogma and becomes more of a religion, and I think we're seeing the crest of that event.
on the other end, you could say that we're brunch cultists.
That's true. Well,
We did
or
have a
I think
discussion of brunch cults.
I think, as has been suggested just now in chat, you are the harbingers of brunch.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That might be the best title yet. I like
The
that.
history books will describe how we forced places around the world to begin serving brunch.
Yes. Fortunately,
Yeah.
brunch apocalypse.
So like Arushka, this idea as it's happening will probably occur to you, and perhaps someone in the back of your head will think,
Okay. I think perhaps we all need to spend one sortilege in order to make this happen.
I feel that this is a much better result than my previous efforts at life when I actually destroyed the world. This time I will just bring brunch to everyone. It's way better.
I think that's your redemption arc right there.
Yeah. There we go.
I assist my friends in bringing brunch to the many worlds.
"Oh my God."
Yeah, I did my sortilege as well.
Okay.
All right.
Are we
So-
doing this? Is everybody
Yeah,
spending sortilege?
I'm spending my one sortilege. We,
I have 3. I haven't spent
Please tell me what we see happening here.
I think that you see everybody sit down and open their menu and look at it and go, and then we all look at each other and have that friendship moment, and we all get the same smile, and we just snap, and the menus just shift around, and everything turns into a perfect brunch menu that says
Nice.
the Red Thistle Everyday Brunch.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna confuse the hell out of the staff at this place.
and I just want to say this is the first time I believe we've all used sortilege in our campaign.
Yeah. At least
And
simultaneously.
And this is what we decide to use.
I mean, it's very on brand.
I mean,
Really important.
I'm assuming this is going to have some ramifications throughout the universe.
Oh yeah.
I would be disappointed if it wasn't.
You all spent sortilege, so this is. I feel as though something needs to happen here. Well, we have the lucky coin in play. Yeah, so the menu sort of just flips around and changes. And as the words written on the page shift and combine breakfast with lunch. And there's a brief sound of a distant crack of thunder. Yea, though there is not a cloud in the sky.
I'm sure that has nothing to do with us.
And
Could possibly have to do with us.
This brunch.
It's like, yeah. Oh my god. Abel is very confused for a moment. It's like just sort of looking. He's looking at his menu. He's like, oh wow. Okay. And yeah, okay. So you know what? I'm gonna we're gonna do this. Perhaps this is going to be some kind of GM shift. I am going to award a point of joy to Shah for a thing that I'm about to do here. What we see happens is you hear some arguing from inside for a moment. What you hear is like, no, I don't know what happened. No, they all changed. Why does the oven look different? I don't know.
The oven looks different.
There's something just happened. Why are there more? We only had the one, and we only had the one cookbook before, right? Yeah. There's like 20 in there now. This is so strange. What's happening? I don't know.
We're the worst customers ever.
And so there's still some sort of scrambling around. They're sort of like, how can we, what? And then it sort of resolves back down to the sort of strange, there's grumbling from inside. And you see one or two folks, once again clad in black, walk out of the, after a couple minutes you see a couple of folks clad in black who looked like they might have been customers here. Locals sort of walk out just kind of like either confused. One is looking confused, the other is looking slightly angry.
Oh no.
As they step out. And then a blonde woman wearing an apron steps out. And she's carrying, like a notepad. Sort of looks back over her shoulder and sort of walks up to the table. Hello, hi, who are your friends? She says to Abel, and Abel's like, oh, yes, no, everyone, this is Emma. She sort of waves. Abel says, oh, these are folks from Saturnine. I think I might have mentioned. They rode down with me on the train. Right, okay. It seems our menu underwent a shift quite recently, so, we're not, we're still sorting some things out, so there may be a slight delay. But I think we've got pretty much everything that's on the menu right now. Is there something you would like to order?
I'd like a mimosa, a coffee, French toast, and a side of the Wonder Bacon, please.
Oh crap! I forgot. It's been months, and it's been almost a year, and Jim has forgotten he needs to write down orders now. Once again, hang on. Let me open another tab on this Excel sheet for your orders. Okay. So let's see, mimosa. And
I actually
coffee,
I can barely decide what I want at
Wonder
real
bacon.
restaurants.
Like, I'll take your Wonder Bacon infused shaved ice with the Hollandaise sauce.
Hollandaise sauce.
strangely, all these items are on the menu now. There's stuff on the menu now that you can usually only get in Santorini.
Weird.
I know. I don't understand what happened. Something happened. Oh, God. I'm terrified now. The chat is wanting to contribute.
Chat is going to.
Now, I have to make something clear. On this channel, I have absolute veto power over the chat.
We only have one suggestion so far.
Yeah. If I feel as though something sucks, I'm going to shoot it down. But feel free to go ahead.
As long as I get my Hollandaise sauce.
You're getting your Hollandaise sauce.
I would like some green tea, and I would like to order the omelette casse, and that's basically an omakase omelet, chef's choice.
Omelette casse. Chef's choice. All right. Has Aroshka decided what she would like?
I have an order in the chat. I love it. I eat that for real. I would BLT with an egg on it, French fries, and a small fruit salad. I'll also have a mimosa.
Okay, hang on. I didn't catch quite all of that. Something small fruit salad.
A BLT with an egg,
Oh, okay.
French fries, and a small fruit salad.
Egg. Okay.
And I just want to extend our thanks and also assure you that this party believes in you.
Thanks. She says. All right. I'll see if we have. I think we have all these things. I'm just gonna go and. Yeah. I'll be. I've got a lot I need to do. And she looks at Abel more than anything. I'm sorry, I can't chat very much right now because you won't believe what just happened in there. I'll tell you later. All right. Okay. Yes, we'll be back out with this as soon as we can. And she turns and walks back into the red thistle. As.
Like that, we just blew Jim's mind.
So powerful was your spell that.
And that was a lot of sortilege.
That was a lot of sortilege. That you have altered not only the menu but the restaurant itself. Jim is just looking up omakase omelet real quick.
So omakase is just basically what you say if you don't know what you want in a Japanese restaurant, but you have the chef prepare you what he thinks you would want. So
I just okay. So I've got a picture of something that I think looks pretty good, which I will send over. And keep in mind, I think it looks good, so this might actually suck for anyone who has taste.
Wendy's perma brunch.
So that's a possibility. This is a thing that I don't think I don't know if I can show on stream because it's once again it's this may be. I do not know if this item is if this photo of rights for the photograph. But when they bring out the omelet, I will show it to you. And hopefully it will be acceptable. But in any case, wait, no, let me move that. There we go. Okay, there we go. Anyway, oh yeah, that's right. I can probably do a link. Okay, yeah, I can throw a link in chat in a moment. But in the meantime, so you are chatting there. So you're sitting there with Abel. Abel is kind of dumbstruck, and he's like, "Oh, wow. So how are you finding the town?"
It's very interesting.
We severely underestimated the level of hospitality that we would receive at the Red Thistle.
Oh, you know.
When we asked about brunch, people were very, well, they asked us to manage our expectations.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard. Sorry, go ahead.
I said that's true, but I do feel like we managed our expectations quite well.
Indeed.
I was absolutely not expecting to be able to find brunch here, but apparently it's here now. That's amazing.
You should enjoy it while you can. You might not be here for much longer.
Oh, I will. I didn't. I'll admit, after being in Saturnine, I didn't think I was gonna. I wasn't looking forward too much to. I was looking forward to sampling the local cuisine, but at the same time, after I saw the menu, I thought, I did start to kind of miss it. So, thank you. Thanks for that. I don't even know how to broach this subject now.
We worked well with direct.
Apparently, okay, yes. He just sort of looks around, and there's more sort of thing where there's a little bit of chaos happening inside the Red Thistle that you can hear as people, and there maybe are one or two other people dining outside today that are just like, what's going on? They're very confused by the concept of brunch. Some are staying, some are not. But Abel sort of looked around and said, "Oh, yeah, so there's definitely something wrong here. People are there's some. I've run into some people who are acting kind of strangely, and the people that Nora's cousin that she stays with. No, Nora. Sorry, Emma's cousin Nora that she's staying with is where I'm staying too, while I'm here. It's, how do I describe this? It's like, have you noticed this thing where they don't want to talk about the ice too much? Or rather, they don't want to talk about what they do with the ice?
Almost like they forget as soon as you ask.
Yeah. And they're like holes in people's memories or something, and they just don't notice.
So that's new.
From what I've never been here. This is my first time here, but it strikes me as strange. Emma hadn't really noticed too much, but she was a little concerned about Nora. And because there's something that Nora and her Nora and her partner Shay. Nora and her partner Shay don't. It's like there's certain subjects they just don't want to talk about. And Che will barely talk to us at all. And it is very strange. It's they're much colder about the subject than we were thinking, and it seems like they're just channeling all of their ice toward one person.
I heard about him, sort of.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about, but they won't say what it's about. And like half the time they can't even remember what it's about, and I don't know what this means. I mean, I haven't been here long, but this doesn't seem right.
It certainly does not. We were just trying to figure out what our next move should be. I feel like we need to find some way to meet this Mr. Blaylock.
Yeah.
Well, Goodman Bristol seemed to think that the mayor could give us more information. I'm curious if the mayor also has this sort of disorientation. Does Nora work in the mine?
No, well, no.
Because
Yeah. Go ahead.
Emma doesn't seem to be disoriented, right?
No, not that I've been able to tell. No. She's more disoriented now than I've ever seen her, but that's its own thing. Yeah, I'm just checking something to see if they tell me anything here. Nope, they're not telling me anything. So apparently it's going to be occupation roulette. Yeah, they let me look at the I gotta look at the map again real quick. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, so we will default and say that no, they work. See where they are, considering where they're located. They're sort of on the edge of things. Yeah. Yeah, they manage. There's a vineyard that they've got up there. It's a small one. That they manage. And out sort of near the river. It's that Nora and Che have, and Che I think Che does have an interest in the mine. I think Che is one of the owners.
Oh.
Oh.
And so but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but it is unusual. I could have sworn. I don't know. There's something. There's something, and it's. I'll figure it out. And I can go back and try to keep an eye on them when we're done here. See if I can find anything out, maybe.
Yeah, if you can figure out any connection. We talked to a historian who seemed perfectly fine until we asked about Baylock, and then he became very disoriented. That and people seem very distressed about any sort of mind magic.
Oh, there was something else, and it's just I could have sworn I saw something in their house.
Did it look like a giant centipede?
Maybe? I couldn't see it. It was just like out of the corner of my eye. But it could have been. I couldn't see the whole thing. It was very dark. I don't know. I thought I imagined it.
Was it in the chimney or?
It was like it was like in a closet, in the back of a closet.
We pull out the viewfinder and go back to the picture and say, "Look through this."
Oh, okay. It was through. Yeah, that could be it. What is that?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. We should probably find out. I look at Shantan now.
I will point out briefly, and perhaps I don't need to. I don't know if I need to point this out or not, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway, just in case. The image does look similar to the drawing that is in the book you are currently carrying.
Right.
Next to the entry that has not yet been read.
Oh, that's right. I will open the book. It's rude to read at brunch, Jim. I'm trying to have good manners. Shaw has very good manners. Shaw apologizes for pulling a book out of the table and pulls it out and turns to the page and says, the book sort of opened to this.
Okay. And you're showing it to everyone?
Yeah.
Excellent. I shall now display it.
Oh boy.
Unto you. It is over by the handouts. I just pulled it to on top. I have reorganized the handouts, by the way, a little bit so that hopefully it'll be easier to find crap. This is just right on top.
Oh. I sort of thought when I glanced at this earlier that it was going to be that the Insidious was like the Insidious, like the one and only Insidious, not like the Insidiouses.
Oh yeah, no. The Insidious, the one and only Insidious, is going to be performing later this summer. At and when they open for Guar. But anyway.
Well, this says that they do live in the wilds of Indigo. They look like shadowy centipedes, and they can metaphysically crawl inside the mind of a being and plant suggestions like eggs. If the mental suggestion takes hold and remains in place for long enough, new individual Insidious is born. Ooh, gross. The Insidious are physically weak and cannot abide bright light, fleeing from it. This makes it almost impossible for them to operate outside during the day, but makes them very dangerous inside or at night. They are good at hiding, and during the day will do so inside somewhere or underground. The best way to deal with the Insidious when they have spread into a new area is to eliminate their so-called royal brood. These are the first 3 eggs laid by the Insidious in the area. This will cause all the implanted suggestions to end and drive the Insidious from the region for a year and a day. A year and a day is not very long.
How do we eliminate a suggestion?
Well, Vor is very good at that.
Wouldn't we have to figure out which one was the first one? What?
Yes.
How do we do that?
Well, I mean, we can start by process of elimination, right? So we know that it's not Goodman Jonas, because when Goodman Jonas came to us, he said that people were forgetting. And now he is forgetting. So he's not one of the first. I think that's all we can eliminate.
We don't know enough people.
Your food is arriving.
Yay!
They have what you ordered. Emma is just sort of like got these trays that she's trying to balance. She comes out. And So she will bring Shaw a mimosa, coffee, and Wonder Bacon. And she looks down. She says, "The bacon was not okay. So you're aware, the bacon was not doing this before whatever happened.
No, it's
can-
brunch bacon.
I can take it back if you want me to. But it's, well, I'm not entirely sure. Hang on. Let me see if I can. Let me make sure I can pull this up here. Excellent. Let me check to see the definition of this term that I've just pulled up. Okay. I probably actually no. I don't. I shouldn't. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. There. I'll use that instead because we're going to get it horribly into the weeds if I do it. Okay. All right. Yes. So she sets the bacon down, the plate down, and the bacon appears to be. It's strange because the bacon, each piece of bacon is like apparently in a the bacon has been set in kind of a smiley face pattern, and she's like, I am sorry, whenever I put the bacon on the plate, it just goes into that pattern. I'm not sure what's happening.
Well, I believe he did call it Wonder Bacon, right? Did it not do that?
It didn't do that before, no. That was just, it was, we thought, wondrous, but it's hard to, yeah, I'm not sure what's happened.
What was wondrous about it before?
Oh, well, it's the hogs are all with the process we use with the hogs, they're very it's just it's a very natural process that we use that is able to bring the flavor out better.
Oh.
And it's leaner than the kind of bacon you might get in the city. But it never did this. Here also,
okay
sorry, go ahead.
I'm okay with smiling bacon. I mean, if it were sad bacon, that might be concerning, but it seems content to be bacon.
Okay.
Good, that's good.
And this well, okay, and so she basically will hand over the to Shantano the Wonder Bacon infused shaved ice with Hollandaise sauce, and the I need to write a thing down real quick. There we go. Let me hit this button again. Oh, okay, sure, why not? Okay. And it's this sort of dessert thing, shaved ice, that has a sort of a tinge of reddish brown to it. Atop it is this sauce, which I assume is similar to Hollandaise sauce, but is more of a it's more ham related, and so including it has the emulsion of egg yolk, melted butter, and lemon juice, but it also has ham.
You mean ham sauce?
Yeah, sort of that has somehow been transformed to work with this in a very special way. So it is a little more pink than yellow, this sauce. And it also is shining in the daylight. Mac will receive. Oh wait, I have to do Mac last. Areshka receives a BLT with egg, French fries, and a small fruit salad, and the BLT appears once again to be a somewhat happier than for some reason. You just get that impression from your BLT.
That's good.
And Mac will receive green tea. And I'm also going to now, I will now go ahead and open that. And hopefully that's something that doesn't look too terrifying. And let me see if let me find the link here. And that's now in the handouts, in the where it says omelet.
It's very impressive.
And she's like, I'm not quite sure how we cooked this, but here it is. It's looks. I think they did a good job with it. Actually, it looks pretty good. But yeah, there we go. Do you need anything else right now? I think Shaw is muted.
I said I think we're good. Did Abel order anything?
Abel did order something, and I neglected to say what it was. So I think he just ordered a. I think he just ordered an egg sandwich. Pretty much.
Maybe Abel was the one who got the moons over my wonder hammy.
Yeah. No, they don't have that. They don't have that. But they do have. But it's they had that and Wonder Pork and the pork chops of Wonder. So he ordered the egg sandwich and a pork chop of Wonder. Which looks, for some reason, slightly happier than one would expect. Now the question is, do you attempt to sample this food?
Yes.
Of course.
Not why we're here.
Excellent.
After taking a fair number of pictures of our food to publish to
Our blog.
our blog.
You have had a decent enough amount of experience with various brunches in this time to be able to better identify what it is. You get a sense of what this is, this Wonder Bacon. And you come to realize very quickly, from the way that you feel afterwards, this warm feeling of satisfaction comes over you. And you realize that you have discovered the Wonder Bacon of satisfaction.
Wow.
And Wonder Bacon infused shaved ice topped with the Hammonday's sauce, apparently of ecstasy. As John to know, when you try this, it's electric. It sends you to a place you're not sure you were ever going to reach on your own.
And yet I've been to so many.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's. To be fair for you, that's Tuesday. So, It's hard to say.
I smile with satisfaction, not quite the smile of bacon, and take a sip off my mimosa and say, well, it does look like we need to capture one of these things because we were supposed to bring the lost children of the night side of the blue back, and that is what these are.
Oh.
So they were exiled. That was lost.
Huh.
Well, it says born of the night side of the blue.
Do you suppose your expertise can address something like this?
I mean, I don't know how squirrely they are. Also, I would need to empty the cage.
Can't build a separate cage?
I mean, I could try, but I think that my understanding of magic means that there would be ramifications, and then there would be 2 cages and maybe 2 of me.
Not that having more of you wouldn't be wonderful, but maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yes. I think
I think we can avoid. I think we can avoid conflicts that could arise from such.
Yes. I do not want to have to discuss with myself my work. So we will need to decide what we want to do with our friend. But then we could try. Or we could try to capture it in some other way. I mean, there must be other ways.
It was a cultist you had in the cage right now, right?
Yes.
Actually,
I look very nervously at this able person as we're talking about the fact that I have like a being in a cage.
I could in fact summon someone who may have useful knowledge in these regards, as Mac reaches into a hidden pocket to produce a very small red book with various sigils on it, and he starts flipping through it, and inside are basically his spiritual contacts.
It's your address book.
Yes.
I was going to say it's a spiritual address book.
Yes. It's been a while since I've checked in with this this one, but I don't believe the brunch table is an appropriate place to conduct a summoning.
Yeah.
You were muted there.
No, I was. Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I said maybe we should finish brunch and then find ourselves some rooms.
Yes.
All right. And Abel is sort of finishing up and he's saying, "Yeah. Okay. So yes, if you need to find me, I guess I'll go and see if I can figure out what's happening over there and see if I spot one of these things. Here. Let me show you where I'm staying." And he will indicate a direction, and sort of he'll as there is actually this restaurant too has kind of these little maps of the town, and he will point to a place on the map and tell you that that's where he's staying, Nora and Che's house. And I shall now make the map visible to you. So that is there again in the handouts area.
All right.
Oh, this place is much larger than I thought it was.
And
Right. Go ahead.
Mist Maids was where there was like lodging.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Sorry, where's the pathway to the mansion?
So the mansion is going to be... So the mansion's not on this map because I made it up. It's going to be in the direction of the rail station, I think. I kind of imagined before I knew this map existed, I imagined the rail station was much further to the south. So what I'm going to say, or to the north rather, to the north, Jim, was much further to the north. And so what I'm going to say is that there is a second rail station that is specific to the town that the train went ahead and went on to. So it wasn't really the end of the line. They were just very near the end of the line. And that just north, just off the map, is the small platform that you folks got off at originally to head over to the Duchess's house. And
Also, not too far from the mayor's. If
I was gonna say, I think we might have passed it on the way to the Red
Yeah.
Thistle.
yeah, you did pass the mayor's house on your way over here. Yeah.
I'm sure the order doesn't really matter too much, but perhaps we should do additional research before we go and confront the mayor. At least we would have a better idea of what we might stumble into. Or at least maybe dance around some sensitive topics.
Is it possible to just solve the problem by just inundating the whole town with light 24/7?
I don't believe that would be good. Would be a good thing to do to the townspeople's circadian rhythms.
I also think
Yeah.
then they would just go to the mine.
Or they
Oh,
might
okay.
already be in the mine.
Precisely.
You bring up a good point, actually. If they could be in the mine, maybe started by infecting the workers.
It's true.
It does seem like a likely theory.
So blow up the mine.
No. No, Sean. We don't want to destroy the town.
Oh, I'm not going to destroy the town, just the mine.
That would destroy the town. It would be like sucking magic out of Saturine. I'm going to say no, if that's all right.
For sure.
But I value your ideas.
Oh. Harushka, don't you have some things that could help in this situation that you've made previously?
Maybe. Are you talking about one of my old inventions?
Yes.
You know, that one time that I pulled one out of nowhere, it was kind of I don't know, like a weird thing happened in my head. I don't know if it's really a great idea. I don't know if I ever explained to everybody else what happened.
You didn't. You just had a cool net.
But there was definitely some negotiating with like an evil version of me, maybe.
Oh, that sounds bad. The evil version of you seems to have done some trouble.
Yeah. That's one way of putting it.
You have a
Very
second
mild.
view.
Well, it's not like a second me so much as that, like, my old personality still exists. And seems to have some ability to bring, I don't know.
I think my vote is for rooms and more information. But I could also do mayor's office for more information. I just think that we might only get to see her once.
You know, I could potentially ask things in town if they know anything. People never think to hide things from objects.
Might be a good idea, though I think you should definitely not go alone.
Oh, yeah, no. I wasn't saying that. Just meant like,
Sure.
you know.
Perhaps a giant Chantanel could accompany you.
Or a really small one.
Could
Oh,
ride
yes.
on my shoulder.
Yes.
That's right.
Small can you get?
I mean, if we're looking for bugs,
Well, it wasn't a small bug, though, was it? It was pretty big. Just, I didn't see the picture, so I don't know.
Oh.
I mean,
I will share the picture with you, suddenly very distressed that I left somebody out.
Well,
I will
to be fair, the picture doesn't have anything to establish scale.
I thought it was in the. I
it's a
thought it was
drawing.
in the.
Oh, in the view. Oh, right. The view, the
viewfinder.
viewfinder. Sorry. Yeah. No, it looks like it probably is about the size of a cat.
Not
That's
small.
a big bug.
House cat, about that size.
Oh.
There's a size reference right in front of Wilde right now. Anyway.
Hey.
So I guess that's probably the best way to split our resources. Shaw and I can gather the rooms and do our Bisley thing, and you can do the same in town, and we can circle back once, share our information.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. If it gets dark, though, you should come to the inn so we can be together once it's dark.
Be back by dusk.
Yeah, we should probably attempt to be back before it gets dark so that they can't come out while we're still out.
All
All
right.
right, we got a plan.
The plan
It's
is made.
very out of character for us.
Yeah.
We're trying new things. We're just, you know,
I
trying
think
to
it's
be
very
mature
healthy.
about this.
And I think with that, Emma will bring you the bill. If you're ready for the check, Emma will bring it out to you. She will come out and ask if you're ready for your check.
Yes.
I think we are.
And so she will go
Very
forth.
good.
And she's very confused because now the oh no, actually no, they use orbs down here, so it's not too big a deal. They use the same currency. So they are able to do that at least. They're at least that connected with others. So as Emma goes forth to do that, and Abel prepares to go forth to spy on his relatives, and as you all are now preparing a plan somehow, which is interesting. I think also, just by the way, I think Aroshka might still have... Do you still have the net gun? I think you do.
Probably. I didn't write it down, but that doesn't mean anything.
I think that was like a permanent thing that you get to keep.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Considering.
Because there was a lot of heavy negotiation, as I recall, for that. So
Yes.
yeah, I think that is something that you get to keep. So you have access to it if you should desire you want it.
Nice. I do, in fact, have that gun then.
It might be.
But I refuse to get new things from you, Oroshka.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that episode so I can remember how it operates. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and come to the end of our session. Therefore, as we have, there's a plan. It's amazing. All right, and you have brought the glory of brunch to Yestervale.
That brunch was just so good that we suddenly learned how to plan.
It was amazing. The true plans were the brunches you made along the way. We're going to go ahead then and do our joy and despair as we go around. To close off this session, let me find the tab here. Excellent. This is session 39. And we go back in the usual order. And again, Djinnaya, this is on top of what you were given for the GM shift, obviously. That was extra because of the thing that happened.
Right.
And so you get to decide. You get to tell me. Do you think Shaw got a joy or a despair today?
There were a lot of good things that happened, but I do think it's possible that I got a despair because my rival, my friendly rival, was like, "Can't you just make this thing?" And I was like, "I can't."
Oh yeah.
And so I think that might be despairish because all of a sudden she's like, "Well, like I have to figure out how to make this thing because if I don't make the thing, then I'm not good enough and I can't help my friends and there's consequences for this cultist." Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then you have to figure out what to do with what you have in the cage you have. And
Yep.
oh, good Lord, pressure. Okay.
Oh, I feel a little bad.
I feel sad now.
Because I didn't really intend it to be like a call out. It's more of a just like I'm trying to understand your work. And yeah.
I Djinnaya 100% know that this is just a Shaw thing. So
Yeah, there we are. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, there's you have despair. Both joy and despair today. For you. And now let us head over to
A Crocs.
Oh, that's right.
You
got a whole
Crocs.
Crocs. And now Wilde. Do you think that Shantano might have gotten a joy or a despair today?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like even though they did quite a bit, I don't necessarily think it was anything. They weren't like particularly striving for.
I mean, they did get to freak a bunch of people out when they got huge. That's a possibility.
Yes,
that's a new forte.
I mean, while fun, that's also not necessarily Shantano's goal. I don't think I got either.
Okay, all right. No worries. Yeah. And Arras, do you think Aroshka got a joy or a despair today?
I kind of don't think so. I feel like nothing major happened aside from really good brunch to Roshka personally.
Okay. All right. Cool. And finally, Anino, do you think Mac got a joy or a despair today?
I think he earned a joy in the fact that he actually did collaborate with the rest of the group in a unselfish manner.
Yes, it's
towards a unified front towards brunch.
Unified brunch.
unified brunch theory.
Yes.
God.
That was excellent. No, that was really excellent. All right. Well, let's then we're done. You got a joy from that. Okay. Yeah. That blew me away. This was so good. I enjoyed that so much. The sudden brunch enforcement. That was so good. That was a great idea.
I like the implication that like the non Vizsla were like, what just happened? And it's like you've got a whole bunch of Vizsla sitting at that table over there.
Couldn't have been us.
What's going on? I don't understand. No, that was freaking awesome. Freaking awesome.
Didn't we decide that this town's a little like scared of Vizsla too?
Yeah, we essentially just forced our culture upon them. But
I mean, good point.
It is. Brunch is benign, and
As far as we know.
That's true.
Yeah. As far as it's going right now, it is anyway.
Let's wait till we get to the land of Lunchtopia.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. The lunch party will be will quite possibly be objecting when it comes down to election time again. But okay, well, we'll go ahead then and go around and do our outros. Once again, in reverse order. So feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you have about this session. And we shall start with Anino.
Hi everyone, my name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. Upcoming streams, you might see me pop up during the day, or maybe co-stream with some other day streamers, as I have the next 2 weeks off and can actually work on things without feeling guilty about not being productive enough. So in the meantime, you will see me next week on the Wandering DM channel, Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for Sentinel Comics, Sentinels of the Multiverse, where I play Bayani, the veteran superhero with 3 young, reluctant charges who may or may not want to be superheroes. And then on Friday, 8:30 Eastern time again, is the second episode of Season 5 of our Cyberpunk Red campaign, and we may have a guest returning. That will be most excellent. And then, back here again on Saturday for more Invisible Brunch.
Yes. The edge of Parabrunch. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And basically, I just want to say that the fact that we kind of used our sortilege in a sort of gray area to alter, to violate the prime directive of this village and install our ideas of a proper meal.
I mean, it just got away from us.
Yeah.
I
think we're going to have to do some reflecting of the of this newfound power and influence.
Sometimes you get a great idea and it just escapes and becomes this whole thing.
Frankly, I think that's what Invisible Sun is all about.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, let us now head over to Arras.
Hello, I'm Arras on Animus Panthera, Animus.Panthera, practically everywhere on the internet. I'm a zoologist and a grad student, a cake decorator now too. But I love to chat about things like zoology, animals, also cosplay, gaming, especially over on Twitter. So feel free to hit me up there. Otherwise, the only place you can find me playing games on the internet is right here on Saturdays playing Physical Fun. Yeah. So definitely check in next time. This session, thoughts on this session, that was just like incredible. I hope to know in the future what ramifications our brunchification of this town will have.
I think there'll be an explosion of boutique retail shops.
It's just going to slowly morph into another version of Saturnine.
Wow.
Somehow.
Maybe we'll attract more Saturn tourists because there's brunch available here now.
Oh, yeah, that'll certainly be a clarion call to the Vizsla.
Just realized we are the gentrifiers.
Oh no!
Yep.
Just keep imagining somewhere like the Council of Three or someone back in Saturnine, or just sort of someone back in Saturnine, some Vizsla in Saturnine is just waking up or just opening their eyes and like, they've just sensed something. Something has shifted in the pattern, in the brunch pattern.
Disturbance in the force, and it felt like mimosas.
I felt sort of bad that we drove away some of their customers, right? It's like, we can get you Vizsla, who are probably really willing to spend idiotic amounts of money on brunch.
It's quite suddenly a gravitic pull as a bunch of Vizsla are now sensing that a new brunch location has opened. Far to the south.
Oh no, the Sunday pilgrimage begins.
Excellent. I realize, Monte Cook, if you're watching, that we may have drifted a little bit away from the standard depictions of Vizsla, and I'm sorry to say I'm all for it. Excellent. All right, let's head over to Wilde.
Yes, hello, I'm Wilde at Wilde Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. Aside from here, you can find me on Sunday mornings on Eva Seriad's channel for some Weissen. I believe next we are all about to die, so that's fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's like episode 4, and we're all contemplating new characters, so good times. In terms of Invisible Sun, it was just great getting back into the absurdity that is Shantano. I was really able to feel just in the mindset of Shantano and trying to make sense of things that don't make sense, and yet somehow making less sense than that. It's wonderful. I love playing with y'all again.
Yay! It was awesome. I loved 13-foot Shantano, and it was glorious. It was just glorious having you here for this. This is wonderful.
I mean, Shantano takes all suggestions at face value, so
yeah. That's perfect. Perfect.
As they should.
That's right. Awesome. All right, and over to Djinnaya.
Hello, my name is Djinnaya. You can find me at Djinnaya pretty much anywhere on the internet. But as far as streamed games, you can only find me here. And that was a good game. Like, it was fun. I feel like we both had brunch and advanced the plot, and I am so impressed with us for doing both of those things all at once. Yeah, great. Good to know that Vizsla, I guess, are the artists of the Indigo. Like, we always say that artists are always the forefront of gentrification because they show up somewhere, immediately a fancy coffee shop opens, and then it's over. So I guess Vizsla are just the same. That makes sense to me.
The metaphor does hold up, actually, pretty well.
It does. They're weird. They don't blend.
I mean, now that I think of it, maybe we haven't drifted so far from the from the standard vision of Vizsla after all.
Maybe not.
Because it's like they're based on surrealists, for goodness sakes. So, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Awesome. Wow, that's, yeah. Oh, so cool. Okay, well, thank you for playing, everyone. We're gonna this I think I received a joy in real life for this session. This was so good. I just enjoyed it way too much than should be legal. But we're gonna go ahead and start our exit. But once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. On this channel on Tuesday night, we are continuing our playtest of Genesis Undone. That again is a game that I wrote that we're kicking the tires on a bit more. That is a GM-less story game. It is tarot based, and it tries to tell the story of the dawn of a civilization as though it were a stage tragedy or something like it. And we are playing robots on Mars who have built a civilization, and we are now, of course, falling into tragic arcs, and it is a delight. So that's happening Tuesday night. Wednesday nights, we have, when we're all available, we have our Scum and Villainy game, Untitled Space Game, where we just go around annoying people in space, pretty much. We have a shipment not a shipment. We have a salvage thing. A thing we're trying to salvage. We need to find that someone stole out from under us. We got to follow them. So we have that coming up. And then most likely, provided the stars align properly on Friday, I'm going to be guesting again, continuing my guest spot over on Cyberpunk Red on Wandering DM's channel. I had a lot of fun with them last night, getting to play in their world. It was glorious. And I'm looking forward to continuing that. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, back around to Saturdays, and we have more of this. And we'll get to see what happens when our avid brunch enthusiasts plan something. I was amazed. I was bowled over by this whole thing. It was just glorious.
Our brunchers. I'm sorry.
I mean, if we don't stop it, there's a chance our new brunch place will just disappear.
True.
Now you've got stakes. Now you've got... You've got stakes, both spellings of that word.
Hey.
Oh my god. Awesome. This was brilliant. This is brilliant. I'm even running out of words. So when we hit the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to Salty Sweet Games. Lauren and Kiana are playing Baldur's Gate 3 together. They're doing a multiplayer thing where they are playing Disaster Tieflings, and so I have to see that. So let's go. I'm going to go over there and say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.